you also have municipalities that are doing very well.
Mm.
You also have municipalities that their work is not satisfactory.
Mm.
But we do have a responsibility to pull them up so that we provide services to the communities that we have promised that we will provide.
Yes.
Mm.
And even as you look at issues of services, as you say, that deploys that are doing very well in terms of services that the government is able to provide.
Mm.
Which areas are you concerned about?
No, we are obviously in Gamla. We are
Mm.
concerned about the state of water provisioning in the province
Mm.
as our main area of focus as the PEC.
Mm.
And we are doing well when it comes to the issue of roads,
Okay.
blading, grading.
Mm.
We can't comment much on the upgrading of gravel to tar because we have just had the speech of the MEC who was allocating 5 kilometers to each and every community, which we are very happy. Unfortunately, the constructions have not started.
Yes.
And we can't talk much about that. We will look like we jumping the gun. So we will await that process, but we are happy about bleeding and also grading, including in certain areas. There is also this issue of gravel roads, bringing the gravel to try and have at least proper roads. With the state of water provisioning, there are areas that have got improvements, including the area of Guyana, like I've said, and also the area of Sishiho, like I've said. I'm not saying it's up to the scratch, but I'm saying there is improvement. There is improvement in Skukune with drilling of boreholes.
Okay.
But there is a very big project there that we are monitoring, which is going to cover the whole area of Mutse. That project, we are keeping an eye on it. We are having challenges with a certain 2-3 projects in Vembe. Mavambe to Vuani, Valdesia to Air Force Base, including a project called Makado West.
Okay.
We are keeping an eye on those projects because this project called Makado West, once it's unlocked, there will be no problem of water in Makado town.
Okay.
And you will understand that we have got an SEZ there, which is Musina Makado.
Yes.
So you will not have an economic zone which is having a shortage of water.
Yes.
So this project, we are busy pushing them so that we can try and deal with the scarcity of water in that area. But as well, if you check now in the area of Mutare, there are four contractors that have been appointed to deal with issues of water around that area.
Okay.
So we are attending to all these issues. Yes, there is a project that was stagnant in Mohalakwena, which is supposed to deal with waters around back and back, etc., etc. Now that project is unlocked. The new contractor has been appointed because there was an issue between the contractor and the municipality. But the information that we have is that a new contractor has been appointed. So we are on top of it, Ngamla, because it's a matter that is very close to the PEC. We think if we don't deliver on this issue of water as the 10th PEC, we would have failed on our mandate that we have been given by the branches of the ANC.
As you talk about that, issues of state-owned enterprises. Recently, there was a protest just yesterday.
Yeah, I know where you are going.
Yeah.
Satao. About the
GNT.
The GNT, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we do have a problem with that subsidiary called GNT because that subsidiary is owing workers' pension. Of late now, it is not even able to pay medical aid or medical schemes.
Yeah.
Now, what we are doing as the PEC is that we have requested the MEC to provide us with an update report. But we knew all along that there were workers who went to the pension, who their pension were not paid, but subsequent to that, Premier then intervened. Some of them, they started to receive their pension. Now we are told that they are starting again to default. Now that entity is giving us a problem. Other than that, that entity is unable to give buses to our communities. Our communities arriving at work very late because of the poor conditions of the buses. In certain areas, there are no buses at all. So it's a matter that we are attending to, because once you don't have buses in Ngamla, one is that that entity is not going to receive a grant from the Provincial Department of Transport.
Yes.
Two is that it will also lose when it comes to its income, when it has to do with people who are buying monthly tickets, workers, etc., etc. Now, that is why we now have this cash flow problem. But we are going to intervene. We also received a letter from Satao. At one stage, Satao had to call me to their PEC, where we needed to intervene, because workers, by that time, 3 days had passed without being paid. So we had to intervene there and there, and the MEC intervened. So we are going to receive a report from the MEC of Lidet, and then we'll take it from there. But what we can assure workers is that we are on their side.
Okay.
We are not on the side of government. We are on the side of workers who must be paid after the end of the month when they've worked.
So as the province,
Yes.
you have hosted 4 regional conferences.
Yeah.
You should be, the listeners are probably wondering why. It's because you have a look, you're saying, oh, this is where we're going now.
Yeah.
So you have hosted 4 regional conferences.
Yes.
There's one pending. How has been the conferences and the organizing, preparing, and executing?
You'll understand that the big chunk of organizing conferences and preparing them lies with regions. Our responsibility as the PEC is to register and also do an oversight work on, and in other words, preside over the conference, that the conference conform with our standard. Of course, there are regional conferences where there were issues, and those issues are being attended to. It doesn't mean that there's no leadership, because it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
That if you raise a dispute, you raise a dispute when there are no leaders. You are raising a dispute because you are saying these people that were elected, we think they were not elected properly. It doesn't mean that you are raising a dispute. You are delegitimizing the previous structure and the current elected structure. In the ANC, it doesn't work that way. You dispute a structure when it has been elected, and you do have the right to dispute. You are allowed in terms of the rules to dispute. And we are allowing that process to unfold. And we need to emphasize to our structures, because they think that if 2, 3, 4 members dispute a conference, then there is no leadership. No. It doesn't work that way. They are disputing leaders that are elected by a conference.
Okay.
Therefore, our structure stands until when there are other processes that may try and pronounce otherwise.
Okay. There was a conference in Sikukune.
Yeah.
So there were challenges there. Members went to court. I've seen a member. I've seen a letter in the last 2 or so days that member has withdrawn the court case. Is that
true?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are no issues in as far as that one is concerned.
Yeah. Yes.
Everything is cleared.
Yes.
There was a conference in Mopani.
Yeah.
There were delays. Eventually set after a week. Other disputes lodged that you are aware of in relation to the Mopani Norman Mashawan region that is actually conference?
As far as I know, I am told of a letter that came today, the rules are very clear. You can lodge a dispute within 48 hours with the relevant body,
Okay.
and then and appeal thereof. So I'm not going to entertain issues of people that are now harvested because they saw other comrades lodging dispute, and then now they want to dispute a conference which said legitimately, which all of us were there, and there were 6 branches that took us to court, and they lost that court bid.
Yes.
So we're not going to entertain those kind of things. But the other thing that we know, what we want to tell our structures and our comrades is that we are the legitimately elected provincial executive committee of the ANC. We are not a task team. We are not appointed. We are elected by the structures of the ANC. So where we think that there is an element of ill discipline, we will try and prevail over our members in the best interest of our party.
Yes.
Yes.
That part there is important, ill discipline, and we'll cycle back to it. So just on the Mopane is that if the letter that came today is outside the period of lodging disputes.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
48 hours, Gamla.
Yeah.
It's outside. When
Okay.
was the conference of Norman Mashavan held?
Yes.
We just need to remind our comrades also. It's very pathetic that members of the organization do not know the rules of their organization. And they are members of this organization. When rules are publicized, they don't take time to read rules. When workshops are staged to make sure that membership is aware of the rules, they don't attend. And they want to work outside the rules. It doesn't work that way. And the letter, this letter that I'm talking about, it just an hour ago. It got in just an hour. I've not read it, the letter of Norman Mashawane, but I'm told it was written by one member who is in one of our branches in Litava. We will attend to that that letter, and I should think even the National Executive Committee will attend to the letter. Remember, in the ANC, the ANC it's a caring organization. Even if you can raise an issue alone, the ANC will take its time, come and listen to you, and say, what is the issue, Karan? And you are allowed to raise those issues. Where you need to be clarified, you will be clarified. Where you need to be corrected, you will be corrected. Where you are right, the comrades will say, but here, comrades, you are right. Maybe we need to correct these ills from our structures.
Okay. In the Vembe region,
yes,
is the dispute that has been lodged?
Yes.
What is the dispute?
The dispute is about conference. It's lodged with the National Executive Committee. It's about the outcome of the conference. Yes.
What are members challenging?
I may not get into the details of the disputes because then I am going to be tempted to speak on behalf of either one of the side. And I am a provincial secretary. I'm allowing those comrades to undergo the internal party process to raise the matters with regard to the conference with the National Executive Committee. The dispute is with the National Executive Committee, and I should think it's being attended to.
Sure. Okay.
Yes.
Now, in that regional conference, and the language you would remember it better. When there's been an REC, the time lapses, it's converted to a task team.
Yeah.
In that conference, the person who was secretary before task team was removed from their duty, and the person who was deputy continued with the responsibilities. What happened there?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. What I know is that the regional secretary was converted to be the coordinator. The deputy was the deputy coordinator.
Yes.
As to who might have removed the regional secretary, maybe we may need to be given that clarity from your side. If you are saying he has been removed and the deputy, but let me just give you a Mahala workshop, Ngamla.
Okay, let's do this before you give me a Mahala workshop. If it will be necessary.
Yeah.
After this, you'll tell me if it's necessary.
Yeah, no, I will. It's very necessary.
After this one. So, because what I'm asking is, You were saying the secretary was converted to convener.
I went to coordinator.
Coordinator, yes. So I'm looking for that.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
The
You would
chair
know this
is
better.
converted to the convener.
Convener.
The
The
deputy chair is converted to the deputy convener.
Convener.
Yes.
The coordinator
Yeah.
was removed.
By who? By who?
And that's the report we're getting. That
No. I'm asking.
But okay, let
the
me
person
finish.
who gave you report didn't give you details.
No, didn't say.
No. Then it means you will need Namla to go back.
Okay,
and
but hear
get
me out.
more details so that the conversation become very fruitful.
No, that's
so that we must not mislead the leaders. But let me tell you what.
But
what the question says.
Please get my question.
No. I will come to your question.
Okay.
But it is important that I indicate that the constitution of the ANC says, in the absence of the provincial secretary of the ANC, the deputy provincial secretaries assume all the responsibilities of the provincial secretary. So if I'm not around, I'm sick, the deputy provincial secretary, Comrade Bascope, assumes all my responsibilities. The constitution doesn't say I must first delegate him. He assumes in my absence. So I may not be able to know who might have removed the coordinator from performing his work there in the region. So if you can get those details for us, so that we are able to follow it up, if indeed he was removed, because the ANC doesn't work like a stock farm.
Okay.
You don't just come in as a person and say, no, when are you no longer a treasurer, because you are differing with me. Now the treasurer is this one. It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
There are procedures that need to be followed if you have to remove an office bearer.
So you're not aware of any time at any point where
I am not.
The coordinator was no longer carrying out his duties.
One thing that you must appreciate, Ngamla, is that I don't come here coming here to lie, because by tomorrow you will be calling me back and you will be telling the listeners the truth.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lie. You can't give me details. You are saying people like I told you.
Yes.
And I'm saying who removed him.
You're not aware of it.
Because I am not aware.
We thought we'll get that clarity from you.
Okay.
The Pitamukawa Regional Conference. I understand.
So Ngamla, you are going region per region.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We just want to cover everything.
Okay.
Want to be thorough.
All right.
So the Pitamukawa Regional Conference.
Yes.
I understand that a dispute has been lodged. What is the dispute? Not the details.
No, I'm not going to get into the details.
Yeah.
What I can confirm to you is that there are comrades who have disputed the outcome of the conference with the National Executive Committee. And I am going to reserve my comment until that process has unfolded. I don't want to preempt the process of the National Executive Committee. I don't speak on their behalf. I only speak on behalf of the PEC. By the way, I'm the chief spokesperson of the Provincial Executive Committee. I'm the one who communicates decisions.
Yes. So the dispute goes to national, at least this Pitamukawa one, goes to national, and national is the one who's going to deal with every issue that is being
all
raised.
the disputes.
No, this one of the region.
Yes.
The Pitamukawa will go to national, and national is the one who resolves it.
Yes.
Okay.
They've disputed to the NEC. They did not. They just copied us. That because we were the ones who were presiding over the conference.
Yes.
For our information, so that we must not be surprised. They are challenging the conference that we have presided over with the National Executive Committee.
Okay.
And we will await that process to unfold. And we will be very patient to that process up until when it gets its logical conclusion.
I will take the Mahala school now. Is that the way it should be done? That they dispute to national?
The rules says you dispute first with the structure that you were part of.
Okay.
If it's a branch general meeting, you dispute with the branch. In the event of the regional conference, my understanding is that they were supposed to dispute it first with the PEC, so that the NEC becomes their appeal body. But they chose to petition the NEC direct. Is their decision. I respect it. I don't have any quarrel with it.
Mm. So it's not an indication of whether one of the issues that they raise actually relate to the PEC or members of the PEC that were presiding over the conference.
Remember, members of the PEC are not voting delegates. And members of the PEC will not aid anyone to win or lose the conference because we don't vote. We don't nominate. We come and make sure that the rules are adhered to with no exception. And we are guided by Rule 104 of the guidelines of the ANC, which says we need, as the PEC, to safeguard the integrity and the safety of the delegates in the conference.
Does the PEC or members of the PEC who preside over a conference write a report after?
Yes, you need to write a report. That is why there are PEC deployees to each and every region. It is because they must write a report.
What was the report of the PEC relating to the Pitamkawa region?
No, I can't divulge a report to.
Did it go well?
If you want to be an active member and leader of the ANC, you must stand for elections.
Yes.
As if you want us to also give you the reports of the deployees, those are internal documents. Well, but if you want to be leader of the ANC, you must start from a branch there, Ngamla, and these reports are meant for the PEC. And the PEC, after it would have attended to those reports,
yes,
a statement will be issued for that effect.
But okay. But what I wanted to get to is to understand whether the PEC believes the conference has met all the requirements, has been run legally according to ANC.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. That is what I'm confirming.
Yes.
But that does not take away the dispute that the comrades have sent to national. If Bona, they feel like the conference does not comply with standards and rules of the ANC, they are entitled to do so. That is why they are appealing. We are not even harassing them. Why are you appealing this? We are not even angry with them. Why are you appealing a conference where 4 of the PEC officials were present? Even if we need to, if we were to rig process, but how do we rig processes, all of us, the 4 of us? How do we just agree on rigging the process? But other than that, I think the comrades took us to court. And they lost there in court. And now they have gone back to their normal reasoning capacity, that they are internal structures of the ANC that can attend to our matters. That is why they start by going to court. After losing, they then start to engage our internal party structures.
As the PEC and as the provincial secretary as well, at 1 or 2 times, especially during these court appearances, I have seen you decry the fact that members go to court to challenge with whatever issues that they have.
No, I don't have any problem with members going to court. I want to put it very clear. I have the right to defend the organization that I lead. So whoever wants to take us to court, he has got a democratic right enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic. He can go to court for a remedy. I will also go to court to defend myself. The matter that I was emphasizing is that I can't have a situation where members of parliament, members of provincial legislature, mayors takes me to court, sit with me in court. I am saying that is very abnormal in any organ. There is no organization that can be tolerant to such kind of behavior. That behavior is very foreign to this movement. That a mayor, a member of parliament, a mayor, an MP, an MPL, executive, they took me to court. Some of them, they were sitting with me, same row in court. They have taken their employer. I am the representative of the employer because they are employed by the ANC. I represent the ANC. Therefore, I represent their employer. And they are taking us on issues that has got nothing to do with them. I don't have any problem if membership takes me to court, but I've got a problem of being taken to court by people that are employed by the PEC, that are employed by the processes of the PEC. That I'm still going to raise, and I'm not going to be worried how people feel about it. It's a fact. There is no single organization, Gamla. You can take the management of this station to court, and you expect that the management tomorrow they still treat you the same as the same Gamla who is very impartial when he deals with matters of this radio station. Obviously, it is going to ruffle feathers with your employee. Now that is our worry as an organization, because we believe the employees, they are at a certain level of leadership. They will understand and analyze these things better than membership. That's our worry.
Okay. Are there processes within the ANC to deal with that particular matter?
Obviously, there are processes. I am going to pen a report. That is my issue with them. They will be afforded an opportunity to raise issues. Why were they there? And will take a decision around that matter. It's not a simple matter. It's courts in Gamla are not easy building. You will not like to just be taken in court. Remember, I was entering court buildings for the first time since this processes as a provincial secretary. I've not gone there. I went to a court in Pretoria in 2024. Here in the province, even the Polokwane High Court, I was entering it for the first time. I had not entered Polokwane High Court.
So yeah, and as you said, so first time you go to court because of these conferences.
Yes.
What is happening with these conferences? Why is there need to go to court?
I think comrades are they sometimes think that the processes are not being followed. Instead of them raising it with the internal structures, they think the court is the best place to ventilate these issues. It's my thinking. It might be wrong.
Yes.
But on all the cases, they lost.
Okay. Now, this I think it's for you that we should actually be fair to you and give you an opportunity. There are videos that people circulate of you addressing members, especially in the Bitamkawa Regional Conference at different times. I wonder if you have seen any of them.
I've not seen
so there's a video of you addressing members outside, and some push each other.
Outside where?
Outside the venue here at Bitamkawa.
I've never addressed.
You were standing at a higher ground. You were addressing people that were there. Some were shoving each other. But let's say there are videos of you addressing members at the conference.
In the conference.
Okay. And there were scuffles somewhere on the ground.
Yes.
What was happening? There was a time you sounded to be speaking strongly with the members, whether it was to instill discipline or what was happening.
And I think members were not happy about the decision that we have made to continue with the conference. They felt the conference must not continue, and that is exactly what was happening. So we needed to assert the authority of the PEC to its members. That is what we were doing. We were asserting the authority of the PEC so that members who are not disrupting the conference are allowed opportunity to continue with the conference, so that the ones that feel hard done can then go and use internally party structures and processes to appeal the decision.
All right. Well, so there's still there's still one conference remaining. Regional conference, Waterberg.
Yes.
Everything in place. Is there a roadmap to go to that one? Preparations for it?
No, we are still panel beating the roadmap of Waterberg so that it can conform with the rules of the ANC with regard to staging the conferences. After we would have done that process internally, we will then announce the start of the BGMs in that region.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.